What's good, Nationers? Today is the NFL draft, and the Raiders are expected to pick Fernando Mendoza in the first round at the first overall pick. But how will the rest of the draft go? Today, I have two different mock draft simulators for all 7 rounds, specifically tied to the Las Vegas Raiders. So we have a mock draft website called Fanspeak, which has every single pick as we go through. And also we have Stick to the Model. Now, these two I've used the most, and I probably enjoyed them the most. So we'll go ahead and start with Fanspeak because it's actually pretty easy to understand. So let's go ahead and we'll click Start Draft here. Now, what's super easy about this as a whole is that it tells you exactly what you need on your team. Now, anything that's blue up here, this blue basically just means like, hey, this is kind of more of a priority. Anything else that you could get was just kind of like depth filler. So here's what we'll do. We're going to go ahead and start round 1. And it's lovely because it goes round by round. So Fernando Mendoza, obviously the consensus #1 overall pick. And once we actually get through round 1, we'll actually be able to go back and see what teams picked. Like Kenyon Sadiq, he finally got picked kind of late. There's a few people that I have seen make it to the second round that the Raiders technically could pick. Do I think that that will happen? No. As you can see, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, he's a guy that typically falls into the second round in a lot of these mock drafts I've seen. Like, I was able to pick him up at pick 36, which was kind of surprising, but I'm not surprised to see him go here in the first round. So, like I mentioned, we could go back and see where everyone got picked. So, yeah, Ruben Bain apparently got picked 2nd overall. He jumped up a little bit. David Bailey, obviously, he's going to either be picked 2 or 3 in this year's draft. Spencer Fano, like someone... I didn't expect them to go offensive tackle here, but they do. The Browns pick Mansour Delane. I'm surprised they don't pick up like Caleb Downs. What's the other guy's name? Where did he Sonny Styles. Like, he dropped a bunch here, which is kind of crazy. Again, like, you never really know what some of these teams are going to pick, and yeah, I think that's the lovely part. Like, I've seen Jeremiah Love go all the way to the Seahawks at 32, which is crazy. Zion Young is a big riser. Blake Miller is a big riser. Caden Proctor picked right where he was supposed to be picked. Francis Maigoa, he drops 18. So there's a bunch there. I do like the Kenyon Sadiq pick here, so that's really good. But this is interesting for us because there's not a specific position that I really, really like here, especially at pick 36. So I don't really know where to go here. If I'm going to be completely honest, if Owain is available, I think we got to pick him. There is an offensive tackle that typically drops to the 102nd pick, our pick 3 in the 3rd round. That's typically our best guy. So let's go ahead and start the second round, see if he gets picked. He does not. He does not. So we could go CJ Allen from Georgia. We could go Ione. Now, draft trend typically have going to the Steelers in the first round, but he does drop to us here in the second. CJ Allen, what does his summary look like? He has no scouting data for this website, so that's not too great. So I really don't know too much about this guy. Linebacker is definitely a position that we could get just because of some of the contracts, but guard's definitely good. There is that offensive lineman. Yeah, okay, so Max did go. We could go get a wide receiver here, but I think most of them are going to be pretty high, if I'm not wrong. Like, there's no good receiver like here, right here. So I think we're going to go get Ione. I think that's a steal if you ask me. I mean, he drops a bunch of positions, but I'm generally not too upset about that. Some people that could get picked here is Eli Stover, Jeremy. This is a guy that we might be able to get. He's kind of a big body guy. I think he's like 6'4", like 213. That's someone that we could get, and the Titans already got a receiver. Doesn't look like they might actually go quarterback here. I don't think there's a good quarterback right now. They could get one next round, but I believe that they're probably not going to go get Jeremy Bernard. So, just some notable picks. Eli Stover went to the Broncos. Seems like there was a lot of a mix in the second round here. Safety is definitely a position that we do need. Offensive tackle, like I said, I think we could get in the 3rd round. There's a Northwestern guy that I really, really like. Let's start round 3. Please tell me that Jeremy's still going to be there. He is. I think we got to go Jeremy here. I think so. Now, we could go get Indiana, Elijah Surratt, but I think we got to go Jeremy Bernard. He's a big body, deep threat guy. Not super fast, but he's just a big body that you need. So we'll go ahead and pick him here. He does fall a little bit, but honestly, I'm not too upset about it. So we go pretty heavy on offense here. Defensively, we definitely need to draft some people, but I'm afraid that our next pick will also be a offensive guy. But I think that's what we got to play if that's where we're at. So we had pick 102 here, and I think, did our guy get picked? This is rough because there's a guy. Where's he at? He's an offensive tackle. Oh, no. Did he get picked already? Dang, that's not good. Garrett Nussmeier from LSU goes to the Dolphins. Did he get picked already? Did I just miss this? His name's, what's his name? He's from Northwestern. Oh, Caleb Tiernan got picked at 52. Dang. That's sucky. That makes sense because actually we would have picked him with our 67th pick. So, yeah, but he wasn't there. So, dang. I guess I'm not mad that we got a guard. We could go get a tackle at some point later on in the draft. We still had plenty of draft picks. We could trade the 17th overall pick in the 4th round. We could. I think that that's honestly a pretty smart idea. Either that or, yeah, that's too far. Pick 35 in round 5. I don't know if that's like compensatory picks because it's only 32 teams, so maybe. But I do like a corner here from Ohio State. I don't think that that's too bad. He's got a good frame, 6'2". He's about 200 pounds. Draft trends. Doesn't really go to us, but average draft position at 90. So it does seem like he fell just a bit. I don't think that the Tennessee Titans are going to pick him, so we're going to take him. We need a good just depth corner for our team, and I think that that is perfect. So I think we're going to trade the 17th overall pick depending on who we get here. Bud Clark at 105. Total tackles, pass breakup, passes defended, defensive tackles. Not bad overall. The Raiders do have him at pick 118. Technically, we have 117. He's a safety. We could go pick him. We could trade this pick back. I don't exactly know how to trade this pick, to be honest. So I don't know if this is, oh, trade's locked. Yeah, I wonder if it's just because I'm not upgraded on this website. So I think we're going to go ahead and pick Bud Clark. I think that's our guy here, if I'm being honest. Let's go ahead and pick him. He'll be our 4th round pickup. So now we have the 34th pick in the 4th round, which still seems weird. I don't know if it's just compensatory picks. But yeah, I feel pretty good about some of the guys that we have right now. We got 2 defensive guys, 3 offensive guys. Could go get a D lineman. I mean, it's just going to be kind of late. It's not really too much of a risk. Total tackles and sacks. I think if you're talking about defensive linemen, I mean, this is pretty good for a defensive lineman. I don't know many defensive linemen that are getting 6 defensive sacks in a season. So I do like that. The defensive tackle for losses is 8. That's pretty good. I like that. 0 defensive sacks. See, like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, there's not any like that. Texas Tech below FPS average. Nick, yeah. I think we're going to go Chris McClellan. I think that's our guy at pick 136. I think that's our guy there. I do like that. There's a few guys that I know kind of fall into this 5th and 6th and 7th round here that I'm hoping to get. One of them is a tight end. Riley Nowakowski. Now, he's a guy that plays with Fernando Mendoza, and I think he'd be really good for our team just as a depth, especially with maybe Michael Myers probably getting traded this season. I'm not too sure. We still need an offensive tackle, by the way. That's something that we still need. So maybe that's something that we get here in this next round. I mean, we're going to have a super late pick, but I mean, maybe we just tough it out. Maybe we tough it out. I'm hoping maybe we can look at some of these guys. 159. They're going to pick him. Yeah, Panthers picked him. That sucks. Penn State, I don't mind. Offensive lineman from Penn State's always pretty good. But these guys rank so far back. Like, we'll probably be okay without them. We should look at them here real fast. No scouting. There's no scouting data. That's crazy. No scouting data. Again, these guys are like 5th to 6th round, like 7th round offensive tackles. So pretty rough. I'm not going to lie. Not drafting an offensive tackle. I mean, Fernando Mendoza, it's probably likely that he'll just be rolling to the left, if anything, without a good offensive tackle on the right side. I mean, we got DJ Parham over there. So, is that true? That might not be true. DJ Glaze. That's who we have as our right tackle. It's not great. However, the Raiders here, what is our need? So, they're saying that we need like a linebacker, center, tight end. Center would not be too bad. A linebacker. We just go Indiana again. I really don't want to go Indiana again. You know, just like, oh, they won. This guy's also pretty old too. 6'1", 233. Center, okay, also from Indiana. I think everyone from Indiana just rose a bunch. Jaeger Burton. Does this guy defensive solo? I mean, he's a center. He plays defensive? What? He's also a big body guy. He's 323. That's crazy. I mean, he's a guy that I could see us picking. I just don't really want to go another guy like from Indiana just because. So, I mean, do we need another wide receiver? Does this guy look pretty good? 6'3", 190. He's pretty skinny, it seems like. He's probably pretty built, but he's pretty skinny. He's also pretty old. I'm going to go with that Jaeger Burton guy. I think that's the guy that we're going to pick here. We probably still could have got him, but that's okay. I'm not too upset about that. So we head into the 6th round. We have 2 picks here. We got pick 4 and pick 26. Let's see what we need. Probably should go get our offensive tackle. I like this Nolan Rucci guy. I just like a Penn State tackle. So let's go ahead and pick him as our offensive tackle. A need that we definitely needed to fill. We still need like a good edge rusher. Malcolm Kuntz is going to be taking over the left or right edge, whichever one that Malcolm Crosby's not on. Linebacker and tight end here. It does seem like there's still both of those up. Some people have said, some of these mocks say like another running back, which I don't think is too bad. Just to get another running back in there for Ashton Genty. A lot of these guys, I mean, their dreams might come true. Is it going to be us? Is it going to be our pick? What about that tight end? Is he still there? Riley, yeah, Riley. We probably could pick him at 219. I'm going to be completely honest. So I'm not going to touch him. What do we do here? This is so interesting because what do we do here? I don't think edge. I mean, edge isn't bad. Defensive sacks. He's got good frame. 6'5", super tall. Wisconsin. Do we go an edge rusher here and then tight end? That's freaking do it. Might as well. I think that that's not a bad pick for where we're at, especially so late into the draft. Then let's go pick up Riley Nowakowski. We should look at some of these other guys. Elite efficiency, limited snaps and touches. Also pretty old. Daquan, also pretty old. He's got good reception yards, good receiving yards per reception, which is pretty good. Yeah, not too many receptions, but he has done pretty well. Undersized, limited snaps and touches. 243, he's only 6'2", though, which isn't great. But it does seem like he's a pretty good blocking tight end. So, Daquan Wright. Do we go him? He's 255 and 6'4". I think we go Daquan Wright. I'm sorry, Riley Nowakowski, but that's who we're going to pick. That's going to be our guy. I wonder who Mr. Irrelevant's going to be. The last team to pick is, I think, the Broncos. Do they have back-to-back? The Rams also have 2 picks back-to-back. And the Broncos also have 2 picks back-to-back. So, big droppers. I wonder how the summary is going to look here. So, we're going to finish draft. Wow, we got 6 steals, which is crazy. That's pretty nuts. I'm not going to lie. That is crazy. We got pretty good value. We ended off, I don't even know how to draft grade. A+, guys. Honestly, A+. That's kind of crazy. I mean, we got an A for Fernando. We got an A for Ione. A for Jeremy. A+ for Ebingo Soon, Davison. Bud Clark. Chris Clellan was kind of a bad pick. Jaeger Burton, not bad. Nolan Rucci, he was a huge slider, so maybe it was just one of those things, but he's an offensive tackle. We're also picking him in the 6th round, so not the worst. Daquan Wright might be the guy to pick. I'm sorry, Riley. I was like really, really helping you. But we got a good draft grade. I'm not going to lie. We got pretty, I mean, pretty good. There is some comparison stuff. I don't exactly know how this goes, but I don't really know what that is. So we're not going to really touch that. But we had 10 picks, 6 steals, and 2 reaches. But generally, we got pretty good value overall. Does seem like the notable picks were Arvel Reese, who actually got picked at 11, which is crazy. The biggest fall was from 97 to 144. Crazy. Carnell Tate, worst value, I mean, just 5 up. That's not the worst. Biggest reach, Nolan Rucci, which, again, did we get a good grade? We did not, but that's okay. I don't mind. Anywho, pretty good grade. Feel pretty happy about that. We're going to go ahead and download that just so we can say we did it. So that is fanspeak.com, a super awesome mock draft. If obviously you haven't made a mock draft already, that's a great place just to kind of get the reps at doing that, kind of see like new people that you're like, huh, like who should my team pick here? So the next website here, the next platform is called Stick to the Model. Now I found this on Reddit. This is a pretty fun website because it has so many, it's a very detailed, whereas the other one's just pretty basic. It's like, oh, here, this position. But when they have like D linemen, they have like nose tackle, they have 1 tech, 3 tech, 5 tech. Like they have a whole bunch of just nuanced things like that. They also have like a nickel cornerback, which is pretty cool, which is like a CBN. So you'll see it as we kind of go. But this is also really fun just because, yeah, you kind of knock off certain lists. And yeah, they also have Fernando Mendoza at rank 2 here, which obviously that's who we're going to pick regardless. So let's go pick Fernando Mendoza. Let's see how the rest of this draft goes. So Sonny Styles goes early, pretty much all Ohio State in the top 5. Caleb Downs going to the Cowboys there. Jordan Tyson going to the Chiefs, which I think is a great pick for them. Kenyon Sadiq going to the Bucs. Caden Proctor going to the Panthers, which I think is a good pick for them. Then, yeah, so, ooh, whoa. What happened? Whoa, what happened here? So the Chicago Bears traded back for pick 35 and 66 for Tennessee. Or I think that's what, that's what Chicago is receiving. Because why did Chicago just not pick Emmanuel? Why did they trade back? They should absolutely pick Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. That makes no sense to me. That does not make any sense to me. But I like Dylan Fenneman going to the Vikings. Monroe Freeling, tackle, right? Yeah, he's a tackle going to the Lions. I think that's a great pick. Wow, a guard play for the Baltimore Ravens. Great tackle, Fano. I like that. I like the receivers here. I like the cornerback play from the Giants there. They also get a safety as well on top of it. They probably could have got offensive. The Jets pick Ty Simpson, which is awesome. But yeah, a lot of Clemson here pretty late. Yeah, and they also got a nickel corner, which I think is good for the Chiefs. So yeah, pretty nuts. Who's Chicago going to pick here? They pick Chris Johnson. Okay. So that is an interesting one because now we have a decision to make because I do like Chris Johnson a lot, especially just being in a smaller market team. I think the one big thing for him, especially as a cornerback, is that he's just probably played #1 reps so much in his life. There's a lot of guys here. Zion Young is pretty good. So the one thing that's really awesome here, let's go to Caleb Banks, someone who plays the defensive tackle, pretty much a nose tackle here. His 40, they give you his RAS score, which I think is at a 10. They also tell you how good of an elite athlete he is, his trend. So he's dropped a little bit, which is not bad. His stats overall, he's got a good amount of sacks. He had 4.5 last year at Florida. And I don't think he played this year at all. So that's one of those things you just kind of have to understand, like, what is happening here? So there's a trade. New Orleans. Okay. I don't really need future draft picks because this is kind of like now. If you got me another draft pick in this setting, I wouldn't mind. But I think we're going to draft here. Now, they're saying we need a wide receiver, offensive tackle, nose tackle, safety, and cornerback. That seems to be our need. There's no wide receiver here that, like, Jeremy Bernard is pretty good. He might be the guy to go get. There's not really an offensive tackle. I mean, the nose tackle, Caleb Banks would be a great nose tackle, in my opinion. But do we take this trade just to get back to 42? They might also draft Jeremy Bernard, though, because that's like that's like a good need for them. So do they? Caleb Banks seems to be one of the bigger picks here. I'm going to go ahead and draft Caleb Banks. I think just having a good defensive lineman that's going to be there for a little bit will be good. Are they going to draft Jeremy? The Saints do not. They actually go CJ Allen here. So I think Jeremy's going to be off the board. I think I just saw him leave. Let's just check here. Yeah, Jeremy Bernard actually went to the Falcons. I mean, I guess they lost 2 receivers. So not surprised there. Caleb Tiernan. This is going to be our guy. Caleb Tiernan is definitely our guy here. They some of these community picks are saying Keelan Rutledge. Let's go ahead and take a look at him. Not super fast, got a good RAS score. Definitely pretty big frame. An elite athlete, just a lot better in a lot of ways. Trending upwards, which is pretty good. And yeah, it's kind of hard to do normal stuff there. But I think guard play is something that we don't necessarily need. I think Caleb Tiernan is our guy. Definitely does not have the arm and hand size, but it's 10 inches would put him up to medium, so it's not the biggest deal. I mean, he doesn't have the biggest hands. I don't think that's too big of a deal. Now, I think reach is definitely one of those things that you do have to consider, but he has been rising. I think we take Caleb Tiernan here at offensive tackle. I think that's going to be our guy. So, and then Keelan Rutledge goes to the Patriots right after, which I think is great. Garrett Nussmeier goes to the Browns. That's crazy. Mike Washington. Okay. There's some guys in here that I'm interested in. I think this is going to be a wide receiver pick. I think so. I think we've already got our D lineman guy. Could go get a corner. Could. Will Lee, I do kind of want to check him or Julian. Let's go to corner here. Will Lee, pretty fast. RAS score of 9.4, which is pretty good. He's also 6'3", allows him to disrupt passing lanes, contest catches with receivers at the catching point. An elite athlete, just a little underweight. I don't really think that's too much of a big deal. His 10-second thing, pretty bad. His vert was pretty good in his broad. He's pretty explosive. Dropped a little bit, but not too much. Not too many interceptions, but a lot of pass deflected and a lot of tackles, which I think if you're talking about a cornerback, you got to have. So that's good to see. Julian Neal here, one of these guys. So they're saying to take an offensive guard here. I really don't like that look from us. It's an IOL. Jalen Farmer. Jalen Farmer is actually decently good. He's decently slow, but man, he is an elite athlete. He has risen quite a bit, and the Patriots already taken a tackle. The Lions could. Is there any trades here? There is a trade. Tampa Bay. What does Tampa Bay need? That's the one thing. At 116, they need a quarterback, running back, and an offensive tackle. That could be a little rough because Cincinnati could get a guard. It's either Will Lee, Julian Neal. I didn't see. He's fast. Super fast. He's just a little undersized, at least in terms of his thing. Pretty good stats overall. He's also jumped up about 80 spots, and he played 2 years, so he's also pretty young, it seems like. Good pass deflections, good interceptions, and 5 tackles. So it's really one of these three in my mind. It's either Jalen Farmer, which I don't think offensive tackle is our biggest need. So I'm going to go Will Lee. How many years did he play? He played 5 years. He is a old corner. Old corner. Now, mind you, he's got some pretty good pass deflects, but I'm going to go ahead and go Julian Neal simply because of the age. Because he's only played 2 years and actually going into the draft. Maybe he just didn't play 1 year. I'm not entirely too sure because technically you have to play 3 to go in. But that's where that's at. So, yeah, it looks like Jalen Farmer, he went to the Browns. Okay. Not bad. Yeah. Okay, so who are they thinking about us picking here? So the AI is saying Dejon Stribling. He is a wide receiver out of Ole Miss, which I think wide receiver is definitely where we go here. We could go get a safety. Let's see where safeties are at here. 154. We'll probably pick a safety a little bit later. Dejon Stribling. Let's see what he's fast. Super fast. 6'2", 207. Probably a big body type of guy. Probably an elite athlete. He is indeed. His trends, he's also risen 500 spots. Dejon Stribling from Ole Miss. I mean, we're talking A.J. Brown from Ole Miss. Kind of gives me that same indication. I think A.J. Brown's just like 1 inch taller and maybe like 15 pounds heavier just because he's thick. He's also a little old. He also played for Washington State. Just saying. Also played for Washington State. Could be a guy that we go get here. We need a big body, deep threat, and I think he's kind of that guy. Let's go ahead and draft Dejon Stribling. I think that's a great pick for us at 117. So our next pick, our war room is looking like a B grade, which is not bad. Got 2 A-minuses. They're even saying Fernando Mendoza is like a B-, but I think that's exactly what we need. Feeling pretty good overall. Our next pick here is at 134. Safety. Oh, did that one guy go? No, he did not. Maybe I'm just... Maybe I'm tripping. Drew Aller goes to the Cardinals. Okay. Cole Payton goes to the Steelers there. So, yeah. Safety is definitely a big must here. VJ Payne is not that great. I mean, he's fast. He's an elite athlete, but he is kind of a reach. He's jumped up 200 spots. But it does seem like the Chiefs already got their safety. So they're either saying VJ Payne or Barker Brailsford. Again, I don't think that we need a guard. I just don't think we need a guard. That just doesn't really seem like something we need. Let me just look at, yeah, I mean, Parker, I'm so sorry, but that's not a great pick. VJ, I had picked in one of these things before, and I think maybe I picked him a little early, because again, like looking at, that's at 134. Are you kidding me? But again, look at the 49ers, like all these teams need a safety. So let's see what the trades are here, because we could drop back. So we could drop back a few spots, but do I think that they're going to go try and get VJ Payne? Who's the guy that we want? Michael's not the guy. Bishop, not that guy. VJ definitely looks like that guy. Super fast, super tall, and yeah, he's got a good amount of tackles, which I think is good. Played all 4 years at Kansas State. I think Philadelphia's going to try and swoop in there and pick VJ Payne. So I'm going to take VJ Payne here at pick 134. He's going to be a little bit of a riser, but yeah, I had to take it. They actually all go line. I probably could have dropped back a little bit, but yeah, that's rough. They also have that at a B grade. I think it's mainly a B grade just because you're picking him so high, but you'd rather go get him because we don't have a pick until 175, which is awful. So I think that that's fine for me to really pick. They still want us to pick a guard, and I think that's really just for depth. 6'6" guard? Are you kidding me? That's insane. Doesn't have really the good... Yeah, not that great. Pat Coogan, he's a center. Could get some depth there, which I don't think is bad. I don't think we're going to get any great athlete. He's super fast, though. His 40 was nuts. Yeah, we probably could pick some of these guys a little bit later. So maybe we just go out and go get depth of just some guys. Like, I don't think that's too bad. Alex Harkey, 6'6" at 327, which is crazy. Didn't do too good at the bench, but he's got a pretty good profile, it seems like. So maybe that's a guy that we go get. He's jumped up about 30 spots. His Raz isn't that great, but none of these guys are that great. Again, we're picking late into the round, and we had pick 185 as well. So none of these guys look like they need offensive linemen. So let's go. I don't really know here. Could go an edge rusher. 151. Tyreek Sapp. Let's see where he's. Oh, okay. This a lot of red. A lot of red. Seems like he's dropping. I think that's fine. Sorry, Tyreek. Caden Curry. Okay, not the greatest. He's also jumped up a bunch of spots, it seems like, at least. So I think that's fine. But for an edge rusher, not that great. Can't really do too much about that. None of these guys are that great, in my opinion. Is this the guy that we really go pick? No, I don't know. That doesn't seem like the guy I want to go pick. I don't really want to pick anything at 175. I really don't. Inez Cooper. I mean, he's just so tall. He's got good weight, good hand size. Little slow. But I think I could do with slow. He's also the 5th and 13th offensive guard. I'm going to go draft him. I think that's I don't know if that's a steal. That's a B- grade. I mean, I'm going to beat myself up a little bit for that, but I don't think that that's too bad. I think the next thing we should go is go get tight end. I think we need to stay away from Eli Raridon and Jack Endress because a lot of these teams are not picking them. John Michael, is this the guy that we picked last? Yeah. This is the guy that we picked. No, this is not the guy that we picked last. We picked Daquan Wright. That's who we picked. Now, he's a little undersized, but it's a mock draft. That could be the guy. What other picks do we have? We have 208. I still think we could get him. I think we could get Daquan Wright regardless. I don't think that that's too bad of a thing that we could need. A lot of people are saying tight end here. Mikhail Kamara. Oh, gosh. I even starred too. I don't know why I had him starred. A lot of people are saying tight end or running back. That's what the AI is saying. Seth McGowan. I think, you know what? We're going to take him. We're going to take running back depth. I don't think that's too bad. He's a C+. Are you kidding me? That's crazy. That's absolutely nuts. I think we could still get Daquan. I think that's our guy. Ephesians Price Sock I picked before. I mean, 2 ACL injuries. Okay, yeah. It's mainly due to his injuries, it seems like. Undersized, 6'4" and 236. He's from Texas. He's also been dropping a bunch. Dropping a bunch, which is not really what you want to see. So we have 2 more picks here at 208 and 219. Did Daquan get picked? Should have not. Jaden Ott got picked. Wow, 4 running backs in a row is crazy. Did Daquan Wright get picked? He did not. I really think that that's our guy. I really think that that's one of our guys. So let's go linebacker here. Landon Barton. Jack Kelly is not a good pick. I picked him before and they said, yeah, nah, this guy's actually not as good. Though he has been rising up a bunch. He's had 2 years at BYU. Pretty good tackle for losses. See, like, I don't see why this guy's not a good pick. You know what? F the system. I know he's dropping a little bit and they're going to give it like a B-. C+. I don't even care. I don't even care. That's our guy. That's the guy that we're going to go get. That's what we're going to go get. Do not mess with the system, man. The system is a system for a reason. See, Riley's also down here. Daquan Wright's still in here. Joe Rower, just not super fast. I mean, I guess you shouldn't be too fast. NFL Combine invite. Dalen Bentley. Do we just have an all-white corner room or a tight end room? He's also jumped up a little bit. Only had 1 year at Utah, it seems like. Except like he's just been dropping a bunch. Pretty good RAS score from this guy. Tight end 3 is what many are saying. And you know what? We're going to take a chance on John Michael Geilenborg. What a last name. I like Daquan Wright, but we're going to go John Michael. I think that's going to be the guy that we pick. Our war room. Hey, wow. That's disrespectful to all of these players. So disrespectful. Justin Jefferson that got picked by the Steelers. They finally got their guy. But let's see who Mr. Irrelevant is here. As I said earlier, the Rams and the Denver Broncos both get a pick late. They go wide receiver and outside linebacker. So pretty interesting pick here. Best value. Okay. We got a B grade, which is actually pretty good. They said that our best value was John Michael Geilenborg, which I think was pretty good, except he still got a C+ for us. Dejon Scribble, I think, is pretty good for us at A-. And also, yeah, Caleb Tiernan, the great offensive tackle. I like Caleb Banks. I don't know why that's still a B. That could be like a B+ in my opinion. VJ Payne apparently is pretty okay, but this is where I think the Raiders should fill. Okay, obviously quarterback. We need an offensive tackle, a cornerback just for depth, a guard just for depth. A wide receiver we really need. Now, we could get that at pick 102. We could get that at pick 117, but I think we should try and get whatever is best in that position. But I'm pretty upset about that. I'm going to be completely honest because that's, no. That's not what I want to see. But let me know what you think of the Raiders picks here. Let me know who you think your team is going to pick in the first round or their first pick, because some people don't have first round picks. But thank you guys again so much for watching. Make sure to stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.